Hello, welcome to Movie Godz. This is the 2008 film Alien Raiders. The neighborhood supermarket is ready to close when a gang of 6 armed, masked individuals enter the structure. They kidnap the workers and remaining clients before shooting one employee to death. The order is then given to Spooky, one of the disguised guys, to see if he is one of the captives. A lady tries to flee but is shot when he recognizes her as one of them. One of the masked men is eventually killed by a police officer who is also inside the business at the time. When Spooky still hasn't checked all of the captives, he then calls for backup and shoots Spooky. The officer is then also killed. The group debates leaving as the police show up, but Ritter, their leader, insists that they must complete their mission. They relocate the other captives to the store's back and free the hostages that Spooky had previously managed to free. One of the bodies is examined, and it is discovered that the victim had been infected with an organism that thrives within humans. The gang turns to a different approach to determine if the other individuals are infected or not. Now that Spooky is dead, the gang turns to a different technique. The group's doctor, Sterling, takes the captives to a different room, one at a time, and amputates one of their fingers so he may check to see if they're infected or not. Seth, a policeman whose stepdaughter Whitney works as a cashier at the store, oversees the police activity outside the establishment. They learn that Ritter once worked as a rocket scientist, and the gang searches for victims of extraterrestrial infection that entered Earth via a meteorite. Contrary to what the police assume, in an effort to reach a compromise with Ritter, they decide that Ritter will free one of the hostages in exchange for the police bringing Charlotte, a former member of the organization who possesses the same power as Spooky did. When the gang finds another afflicted lady inside, they murder her. The cops' resurrected corpse then attacks them, killing 2 of the kidnappers and 3 captives in the process. Ritter goes on to describe their objectives to the surviving hostages. 1 king and a number of female parasites make up each of the 2 groups. The parasites would ultimately become extinct in the absence of the monarch. Because they had the entire store hostage, they knew that one of the people inside was the king's host. Charlotte and Seth then enter. Benny, the store clerk, who offered to have his finger amputated so Whitney wouldn't have to go through the agony, and Seth are led outside while the gang, with Charlotte's assistance, draws the infected police officer into a trap. Ritter succeeds in removing the parasite from the officer while it is still alive, but the police later shoot and kill him. Charlotte discovers the parasite that was killed was not the king, just as Seth is about to arrest Sterling. Benny hears Seth phoning the other officers and telling them that Benny must be the king as he is in a police vehicle. Benny discerns that it must be Whitney, as she was the only one still alive that the captors hadn't checked. Her eyes and veins turn a deeper hue, the screen goes black, and Benny screams as he points a pistol at her. Subscribe to Movie Godz for more movie recaps. Goodbye.